Alright guys, welcome back to the second video in the training. So in this video, I'm basically gonna explain what a sales page is, why it's super important, and how this has been working since the 1970s. Okay, so essentially a sales page is a mini website where there's no different buttons where they can click off and view a home page, about us section, none of that. It's one page with one core focus, and that focus is to get a purchase. Okay, so a sales page, let me just draw a quick kind of diagram here, has a headline. So the headline needs to capture the attention of the person reading. It needs to make them feel like you're addressing their specific pain point, which we talked about in the previous lesson. Then you have a sub-headline. So you have main headline, sub-headline. The sub-headline basically gives them a little bit more information. It's usually in like a smaller font. It tells them what they can avoid. So for example, this could say, just using the same niche as the last video, how to get your ex back in 21 days or less. That's an example headline, okay? How to, so it implies that they're gonna learn how to do this. So how to get, this is the result that they want. So it's how to get, or how to do, how to get the result. In, and then you've got time frame. Okay, so you get your time frame there. The subheadline should basically say, without doing X, Y, Z. Okay, so how to get your ex back in 21 days or less without sending cringy voice notes, for example. It needs to be things that they really don't want to do, that this specific market has maybe tried before, it's failed, it's not worked for them, or just simply things that they don't want to do and things that they want to avoid. And it can even be something like this. So how to get your ex back in 21 days or less, even if X, Y, Z, even if she is already seeing somebody else. It doesn't need to say without doing X, Y, Z, but it needs to add on something extra. So you have two options. This is just an example to show you, but it could be even if she is seeing another guy already. Another example could be without X, Y, Z. So without sending her long text messages, without waiting around for her to message you first, things like that. So things that you don't want to do. That's headline, sub-headline. Then you have your bullets, super important. So bullets is basically telling them exactly what's inside the guide. And these bullets are super important because it's going to sell them on the idea of why they need to get a guide. The main thing here in all of these different elements of the sales page, when they read this top part, they need to think in their brain subconsciously, okay, I need to continue reading. When they read this, they need to think, okay, now I know what it's going to teach me. I need to see the specifics, what's inside. When they read this top bullet, they need to think, oh wow, this is really going to help me. This is exactly what I need to learn. What's the next one? And then they're going to read this. And then it's going to make them read the next one. Under here, you're going to have a button to buy. Sorry for the terrible handwriting. That button, they can click. If they're already sold at this point, perfect. It's took them, what, 30 seconds to read this? They're going to buy. And I usually find like 20% of the people that end up buying click this button anyway and just go straight to the purchase. Some other people, depending on what niche you're in, will continue to scroll, and down here you need to basically battle different objections. So an objection for this may be, hey, I've tried something similar to this before, it didn't work. Another objection could be, hey, she's blocked me on social media, she's blocked my number, what do I need to do? If that's the case, and you're starting to, for example, you've launched this, you've got some emails from people saying, hey, can this guide help me because this is my situation? If you're seeing lots of these things pop up, people are commenting on your TikTok videos with these questions, what do you need to do? You can create a tally. This is a business, by the way, so obviously you got to take it serious. This is what I would do personally, and this is what I've done in the past. Create a Google Sheets folder or file. It's free to do. Just search on Google sheets.new into your search bar. It will open up a Google Sheet. Start looking at your comments. Start seeing what people are asking you. Okay? If you've not already got TikToks running, go into comments on existing, already made TikTok videos. Search on TikTok. For example, if this is your niche. I know it's probably not, but if this is your niche, look on TikTok. Look what people are searching and commenting on these posts that already exist about this topic. Look at the questions they're asking. Okay, so for example, question 1 might be block. I'll just write block here, but for example, they're saying, what should I do if she's blocked me? If you're seeing this pop up time and time and time again, whereas a different question, let's say question number 2, for example, what should I do if I left her but now I want her back? That might be another question, but only 2 people asked that, but then the other questions hundreds of people have asked. I would order these bullets in order of what's being asked the most, because if something's not relevant at the top, it means that they might not read this, might not read that. But if the most relevant thing you're putting on the page is exactly what they're looking for, 9 times out of 10 they're going to read it and they're going to buy it, okay? So under this, most of this page is going to show part 1 of the book or the PDF, what it's going to teach them. Part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, however many parts you want inside. Then testimonial section, so some reviews of the PDF. I give you templates for them as well, inside of the Empire Builder. And then you basically want the headline, subheadline, bullets, buy button, and basically what you want. I know I said like as they scroll down, you want to introduce like the specific parts of the book and handle the objections. But in between each part, for example, you might have some testimonials here. Okay, happy customer. Some more testimonials. Just going to remove this line, make this a little bit longer. So what you might have underneath here, again, another buy button. Because the only purpose of this page is to get them to buy. You don't have links up here sending them to your home page. No, none of that. It's just one page. And the only way they can go next is to click that buy button and purchase the book, okay? So now I keep saying book, it's not a book, it's not a physical book, it's a PDF, right? So that's basically the anatomy of the page and kind of how it works and why it's important. But I just want you to understand why it's so important that the copy, which is basically the words on the page, the copy is the most important thing on the sales page. Yes, the image of your book or PDF or whatever is important. Visually, it needs to look good. Again, templates for that inside the Empire Builder. Yes, the visuals are important on how it looks. That's why we use this template, and it's specifically already set out like this. But the copy that's on the page is super important because it's going to make them read it and actually want to buy it. Okay, so that's basically the anatomy of the page and kind of how it's laid out and why it's laid out that specific way. Is because you basically reel them in with a headline, get them interested, make them think, oh, this is the exact problem I have, this is what I don't want to do, and that's exactly what this PDF is telling me about. Image, bullets, this is what's inside, testimonials, and then at the bottom you can have an FAQ section, which is basically frequently asked questions. Any question that they might have, for example, when do I get the PDF? You will get it instantly after purchase via email. Any question they might have before buying, answer that here. And with Claude.ai, if you give it all of the sales page copy from your sales page and you say, hey, can you write an FAQ section? It will instantly do that for you, which is really, really good. Right, so that's the reason why we do this in this specific way, because it basically holds their hand and takes them through each step. And as soon as they get to the bottom of the page after reading all of this, they are primed for buying this PDF. There's very little chance that they won't buy, because they've come from a very specific video targeted at that niche on TikTok, or if you're doing ads through an ad. They've gone onto the page, they've read everything, it's specifically catered to them. There's no other links where they can click off, everything makes sense, they're reading it in synergy, everything is perfectly designed to make them want to read the next step. It's literally touching on the pain points that they have. They go to buy, and cha-ching, you get a sale, right? So that's kind of the anatomy of the page. So what I want to do now is basically just explain, before I play a clip, so I'll play a clip for you for the rest of the video, just explain how this has been working since the 1970s. Because when I told you that, you probably thought, how are people selling PDFs in 1970? Well, it wasn't a digital PDF, but it was very, very similar, right? So there was amazing copywriters. So like I said, the words on the page is called copy. So amazing people who were basically writing copy in the form of a letter, right? So these letters were sent out in envelopes to people's houses by the millions in the US and different countries, but mainly US in the 70s. These letters were basically direct response letters, which basically means it was a sales page, but it was in the form of a physical written letter. Now, it might have been printed or whatever, but essentially, these letters here, headline, subheadline, text, inside, testimonials, it's the same exact thing that's been working on a piece of paper that were being sent to people, but now it's all digital. What happened before is at the bottom of these letters, there was like a box at the bottom of each letter. I'll try and pop up an example on this page now. This is where a customer would write in their bank information, their card information. This was happening in the 70s, right? The guys that were being sent to the house, or sorry, the sales letters that were being sent to these people's houses may have said something like, how to improve your golf swing. Random things like that sells really, really well. Okay, so they're being sent these letters. These marketers, for example, Gary Halbert, I'm going to send you, I'm going to basically play the clip actually after me speaking, of him speaking and explaining this in a clip from a very, very long time ago. Essentially, they will pay, I don't know how much back then. Let's just keep it simple. Let's say they were spending $1, probably less, to send one letter to somebody's house. It's similar nowadays, this whole thing, running an ad on TikTok or Facebook or even just doing organic videos. But back then, they were sending these letters to everyone. Think of it like a machine gun. They were just spraying a machine gun, hoping that this letter is perfect for somebody in their house. Now, specific ones may have been perfect. For example, if it was a sales letter teaching them how to get tax credits back from the government, that could have applied to basically everyone in a specific area maybe. But things like golf, which did sell really, really well and still do really sell a lot online, would be more difficult to target, okay? So this was more like a spray and pray approach, whereas now it's very targeted, very, very targeted with what you can do with ads. So they would send lots and lots and lots of letters. They pay per letter sent. Then a customer would need to basically open the letter, well, go to the letter box at the house, open the letter, read it, grab a pen, fill out the card information, banking information, close it, maybe a prepaid return slip, send it back in the post. Then they would get a physical copy of the book in the mail, maybe like a week later, right? Why is this different now? Well, it's different, and it's not only different, but it's much, much better, much more efficient, because now very, very similar style, but you're running it on a digital website. So it's a sales letter, but it's on a website, so it's a sales page. Okay, let's say this is a TikTok video. 5 seconds. Takes 2 minutes to make this, especially with the 50,000 faceless videos you're getting inside the Empire Builder. From TikTok to your sales page. Headline, subheadline, bullets. Okay, buy button, etc. TikTok, sales page, buy, checkout. If they're on Apple Pay. Okay, all they do is tap this. If they're on an iPhone, still fast if it's on Android, because it's literally gonna just be 2 different things. It's gonna be card number and name and email. It's like 3 different fields, and pay, right? Next page, it's gonna be a thank you page, and it's gonna send them the PDF directly to the email. The refund rate on this is basically 0. Why? Because AI, if you're doing it a step-by-step approach and doing your own PDF, that's fine. AI is gonna write the PDF for you using expert knowledge. It's gonna be super high quality, and they're getting the products instantly. There's no waiting around. People may be, back in the day, I know I would be, a bit cautious of writing the bank kind of details on a piece of paper and sending it off. This, you've got a secure site. Okay, little padlock. It's on your own domain, so whatever your author name you want to come up with, .com, looks super sleek, professional with this template. Just draw a little image of the PDF here. Okay, everything is 10 times better. You can see how much more efficient this is. It's the same thing. We could do a golf one, for example. I mean, I wouldn't really recommend it. You could do that. But let's say you was doing a golf one for the same thing. Okay, TikTok video. There's a lot of golfers on TikTok. I've looked into the niche. Okay, 5-second video, post 3 a day. The exact strategy is in the guides. Sales page, pay, that's it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play the clip that I was talking about from Gary Halbert, where he literally talks about how he's done this, and yeah, he kind of talks about his niches that he recommends and stuff, but you can see how old the video is and how long this has been working. Look, it's the same exact business model. It's just the medium that you're selling in is different. It's no longer a piece of paper. It's now online with Apple Pay, and users can literally tap 2 buttons on the phone and you get paid instantly. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, like I said in the last video as well with the niches, like there is basically unlimited niches and it's digital. Everyone has socials now. Everyone has TikTok. Okay, so I'm gonna play that clip now.
I've been in self-publishing since 1968. I have made so many millions of dollars that I have become a legend in my own mind. None of you should feel jealous about that, because I have the same capacity for keeping my money as a pig has for solving geometry problems. I've got a big earning capacity because I have to, because I'm so stupid about money. But because of self-publishing, and even though I'm an idiot about keeping money, I still manage right now to live in Key West, Florida, in a beautiful home with a double-sized yard, a swimming pool, a jacuzzi, and a waterfall. I drive a Cadillac, bought a Rolls Royce for my girlfriend. I have 3 boats. One is the original Sea Hunt. One is a Ribowitz, which some people consider the finest fishing boat in the world. And almost all of that came from money that has been sent to me in the mail or telephoned to me with credit cards. When I fly over the United States, I look down on the country with happiness, secure in the knowledge that 1 out of every 3 homes I have flown over has sent me or one of my clients that I got a commission on a check. That's the only part about flying that I actually like. If selling is the number one thing you have to concern yourself with, then the number one question you have to begin with, the bedrock, is what is it that I am going to sell? And Ted has offered you some really excellent suggestions on what to sell. And I am going to give you some almost foolproof suggestions on what to sell. What you want to sell, ideally, is a superior version of a book or other information product that is already selling well with superior advertising. It costs too much to be a pioneer when the road has already been paved. The truth is, most of my success, more of it comes from cowardice than it does from creativity. And I'm afraid to try and sell diet pills to weightlifters. I'm afraid to try and sell gain weight formulas to fat people. I want to sell things that are already selling. I'm not going to read all of this letter because much of it's confidential. But I have a number of clients that I've worked with on this basis, and I spent hundreds of hours picking the product that I would sell for them. I'd like to share with you my choices that I outlined to them in a letter I wrote Saturday, November 28th. There's 10 products. I'm not going to tell you about 2 of them. They are confidential. But I am going to tell you about 8 of them, and they are all books. 1, the approximate title of this one will be What to Do About Arthritis Pain. I envision it selling for between $10 and $19, and there is a huge proven market for such information. 2, approximate title, How to Pick Up Girls Instantly Anywhere in the World. This is another proven monster product of which similar ones have been selling well for years. There is no end to this market. 3, approximate title, how to negotiate and win no matter who you're up against. And I went on to say, every time I get on an airplane and leaf through the in-flight magazine of whatever airline I'm on, I see a multi-page ad for the Karras Negotiating Seminar. It cost hundreds of dollars to attend this seminar, and I believe $317 to purchase the tapes of same. I'm sick of seeing this ad. It has been repeated so often for so many times that whomever running it must be worth a fortune. Now imagine someone having read the Karras ad and then a few pages later seen another ad for a negotiating book which gives the Karras and other techniques and much, much more, and selling for only $39 to $69. Seems like a natural to me. 4, approximate title, 57 proven ways to lower your golf score. Combine a killer ad with a low price tag, $19 to $99, and I think the golfers of America will gobble it up by the thousands. 5, approximate title, 27 secret ways to melt off body fat, hour by hour. What can I say? There's just no end to the market for diet information. 6, approximate title, latest facts on how to cure prostate problems. If you're anywhere near my age, you almost certainly know prostate problems are a major concern to the majority of men after they reach 50. Books offering this type of info have been selling like hotcakes for years, and there's no end in sight. 7, approximate title, how to flatten your stomach in the fastest way humanly possible. The flatten your stomach appeal has been pulling well for over a decade, but I can't help but wonder how much more profitable it would be with one of my ads pulling in the sales. 8, approximate title, how to get what the U.S. government owes you. This was my first successful mail order book idea, and like the Social Security ad and book, it has been copied profitably by many others, and I say they're like hyenas yapping at my heels in different variations. Personally, I think it's time for me to get back into this game and create a super book which will be sold with a super ad. This area is all the more enticing now since there are so many cars, boats, homes, etc. that have been seized by the DEA and customs agents, which can be purchased dirt cheap by a person who has the right info. Why did I pick those projects? I don't think there's any mystery or any of you have any doubts about why I picked those projects. They are proven appeals. They are never-ending concerns of people.